Hi, it's me, Sage. And alright, so I got a good loot again in Pokemon. And just open this booster pack right now. And I want to show you what I got. Alright, so what I got is a Flygon GX. Alright, so it's stage 3 evolve. Alright, so I'm gonna read you its stats and abilities. Alright, so Flygon GX. 240 HP, fighting type. Alright, so the first ability, it's passive, and what it is Dusty Defense. Right? It says over here, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, all your Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. Alright, so I think this ability, it may seem it's not gonna help as much, but I think it is, because in the GX decks and the X decks, it's really common for a Pokemon to show up and then everybody in the bench is getting hit. Alright, so again, I think it's important to know the time that this Pokemon is being played. Alright, so today is January 22, 2020, right? So, alright, so I'm saying that because of in today's Pokemon, it's really common for your bench Pokemons, the ones at ready, to get hit by Pokemon who is at the battlefield. All right, so 30 less is really good. I think that's a really strong damage reduction, because in Pokemon, if it splashes, it's most likely just gonna be 10. 10 for everybody in the bench, so it's gonna be like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. If it's another Pokemon, if it's a one-shotter, the highest it can go is 50. All right, so someone's sitting in the bench. Your main Pokemon takes probably 100 something, and then someone's gonna get hit by 50. If it's a stage 1 Pokemon, let's say like a Rattata, it's probably gonna survive. So you don't want to give those other opponents to take double prize cards, and and then, or something like, let's say your evolving Pokemon, by the time it shows up on the field, it's already, a flick away from dying. You don't want to do that. All right, so it's still a good card to have. I don't know anything about fighting type decks yet, or GX decks. I just started Pokemon, and most common decks online is the entire deck is probably maxed out. Every Pokemon is X cards and GX cards, so um, it's really common for something to shows up and then just one shots you. All right, so the second ability, and it's its only ability besides the GX move, is called the Desert Hurricane. All right, it has 120 damage plus, it says over here, if there's any stadium card in play, this attack does 120 more damage. Then discard that stadium card. All right, so this card over here says stadium card. So most likely the deck that this belongs to, it's probably a stadium, has something to do with stadium. So it's interesting to know what that deck is. All right. So for the GX move, it's called the Sonic Edge GX. It says over here, this attack damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So let's say there's another common move for a Pokemon is to hit you with a medium shot, something that's not gonna one-shot you, but it has evade or something for the next turn. So Sonic Edge, that's one of them. It could be anything. That's one of the things I can think of is, say there's a move and then it has evade for next turn, so that Pokemon will live for that turn. So to prevent that from happening, I'm not sure if there's another GX type Pokemon that has a move that's going to protect itself for another turn after making that move. If it does, it's probably really strong, because you don't want that Pokemon to keep making that move, and then you're probably going to get, you're probably going to lose that way if you don't do anything about it. So to prevent that from happening, one of the Pokemons that prevent that from happening is the Flygon GX, right? All right, so Sonic Edge, again, this attack damage isn't affected by any effects. So if there's an evade, barrier, something, an item, it's gonna pierce that, and whatever Pokemon that you're fighting is probably gonna go down. 220 damage, that's still pretty high. All right, so this Pokemon has 240 HP. That's pretty high for a GX Pokemon. And most of the GX Pokemon is probably same HP. Actually, probably 270, 280, especially the tag teams. But most of the time, I don't really think that's something to worry about. You're hitting for 220, and then the max HP of the Pokemon you're fighting against with is 270, 280 most of the time. But I think those Pokemon probably has a move that's gonna damage itself, because the move that they're doing is really strong. If some move is stronger than what that Pokemon should have, it's probably has something that's gonna balance that out. Probably discard an energy card, or a little bit of damage to itself, or discard all cards. So things like those. So So 220, I think that's still like a good number. It's still gonna take down Pokemons that around 270 HP, 280 HP, because throughout the game, even if their HP is really high, something is gonna damage that Pokemon, and then for something that's this damage, it's still gonna work. So I think this card is pretty solid. Yeah, and it's not super. Actually, I don't know. It's GX cards. It's gonna be a good card, and you'll never know until you try this card in a deck and see what it does. But I think it will do great. All right, so again, let me show you the Pokemon. All right. All right, so Flygon GX. It's a good loot. Rainbow holograph. All right. Flygon GX, 240 HP. Dusty defense, 30 damage less. Desert Hurricane, 120 double damage if there's a stadium in game. And Sonic Edge GX, 220 hit. And doesn't get affected by evade, barrier, item that blocks an attack. It's gonna hit. All right, so that's Flygon GX. My name is Sage, and you're watching a Pokemon video. And this is a really good loot video. Got the Flygon GX. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.